We are a mere few days before the biggest fight of this year, Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, and a lot of people seem to think that Garcia is going to win this one. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. I, for one, am in utter shock at this one. There are a lot of people out there that seem to think that Mikey Garcia is going to step up to welterweight and get this upset over Errol Spence Jr. and take his IBF title. I think all of you people are all deluded and I think you're all wrong. But stranger things have happened. This is a crazy one because what we're looking at is Mikey Garcia, who is the underdog, going up against Errol Spence, and what we might see is a robbery. Everybody thinks that Mikey Garcia is a much better fighter than Errol Spence Jr. And if Mikey Garcia can win 4 rounds, you might see a fuckery happening on that scorecards. Errol Spence needs to go in there and spark Mikey out. He needs to punch him right in his boat and show him who's the boss. Mikey Garcia is moving up to welterweight from junior welterweight, and Errol Spence needs to show that he's the bigger guy. I've finally seen the face-off between the two of them, and Errol Spence had all the confidence in the world, similar to the Chris Eubank versus James DeGale sort of face-off. Errol Spence said that he was the stronger guy, the faster guy, the more powerful guy, the better boxer, when the guy who was doing the face off between them was just reeling off questions every time it came down to it. Errol Spence said that he was better. Errol Spence said he's got a better boxing brain, and I think Errol Spence he needs to go in there and knock Mikey Garcia out. Errol Spence is the hometown favorite for this one. He's fighting in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and he's going to have the lion's share of the support, I would assume. But there are a lot of sort of Mexicans in Dallas, so don't think it's going to be all one-way traffic for Errol Spence. One thing I do think is that it will be a sort of close, even fight up until the point where Mikey Garcia gets knocked out. I'm in a WhatsApp group with a couple of my mates, and like a few of them have said Garcia on points. I think if Garcia gets a decision, it's going to be nothing but a robbery. My prediction for this one is that Errol Spence will knock him out in 9 rounds or less, and then Mikey Garcia will go back down to junior welterweight, or the weight division underneath that. I think that Errol Spence will have to try and control with the jab, and keep Mikey Garcia at bay. And I think Errol Spence is going to have to apply his will. Mikey Garcia is going to have to come inside and he's going to have to box, and he's going to have to sort of use an array of boxing skills. A lot of people seem to think that Mikey Garcia is a better boxer, and some people seem to think that Errol Spence is just a knockout artist. I think that Errol Spence is a lot better boxer than what he gets the credit for, and I think he showed a lot of his boxing ability when he fought Kell Brook. It's just not Errol Spence's fault that the people that have sort of come in his direction since have just not been good enough. I think Errol Spence is one of those people that really steps up the levels, um, who really steps up his levels after facing better opposition. And I think that this is just a sweet time to be a welterweight if you're on that side of the street under that PBC banner. This fight will be on Showtime, no, Fox Sports pay-per-view in the USA. And I think it's ITV, one of those channels in the UK. It's the sort of fight where I definitely want to sort of stay up to try and watch it, because I think it's going to be a good fight. If I was a betting man, I'd be putting all my money on an Errol Spence knockout, for the later rounds. But I understand why some people are a little bit sort of closed and conservative on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no chance that Mikey Garcia is going to win this fight. And if you bet Mikey Garcia, boy, in my opinion, you've already lost your money. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe. Do you think that Mikey Garcia can actually do this, or do you think it's going to be one-way traffic for Errol Spence? That's the end of the show because Remstar says so.